Welcome back for this final segment of Broncos Beat. Alexis Perry here with Cecil, Lammey, James Palmer, and Mike Giardi. You guys, this week the Broncos are facing the New England Patriots, and while there is still so much up in the air regarding this matchup, let's just assume Cam Newton can't play on Sunday. How would his absence change your expectations for the Broncos in this game?
They could get a win. I mean, honestly, that's where we're at with this team, and you build confidence in that game against the Jets. I know it's the Jets. But if you look at New England, you look what the Broncos want to do. They want to run the ball. They want to play great defense. It really doesn't matter who's in at quarterback. That's kind of the formula they have with Pat Shurmur and Vic Fangio with this team. Well, against the Patriots, they can run the ball. And against Brian Hoyer, they can play great defense because he's not even what the quarterback he once was years ago when he came out of Michigan State. So the Broncos, okay, no Cam means you've got a chance to win, means you've got a chance of building more momentum on the season.
Yeah, Brian Hoyer, 18 of 39 in his last career start. That was last year for the Indianapolis Colts. I believe he was picked off 3 times. Hadn't won a start in his last 10. So there are limitations to who Brian Hoyer is, and that is obviously an issue that'll, I would imagine, make the Patriots play a little bit closer to the vest if he doesn't get loose. So I think a lower scoring game would benefit Denver. You're on the road. Not that it's a hostile environment, obviously, because we don't have any fans, but just that idea now that maybe their offense doesn't have that same explosion or the capability of Cam to rip off a 50-yard run, I think makes it a lot more interesting for sure.
And I think it's wearing you down, right, Mike? I think when Cam's out there, I think that offense just wears teams out because you can he is enormous. I'm assuming all of us have stood next to him fully padded up, pregame, and you're just like, this is a quarterback, A. B, this guy, is going to put his head down and just pound teams. And you look at the different guys that run the football for the New England Patriots and the way that they can wear teams out with Cam Newton. I think, Alexis, that is one thing that this defense would not have to worry about as much with Brian Hoyer if Cam Newton is unable to go.
Mike, what should the Patriots' biggest concern be this week facing the Broncos?
Yes, stopping the run. The Patriots aren't very good at it. In fact, if you go back to their win over the Raiders, John Gruden got lost play calling because they were controlling the line of scrimmage. Josh Jacobs was running the ball effectively. And then he decided, well, no, it's the West Coast offense. We got to get our throws in. No, you didn't. You could have kept running the football until they stopped you. And they got away from that, then found themselves in a hole. And then it becomes more passes instead of running the football. Patriots have personnel issues up front. Bo Allen was someone they signed to replace Danny Shelton, a big run stopper for him last year. He hasn't even gotten on the field yet. He's been on IR. Lawrence Guy is a stout run defender, but that's it. A lot of different pieces playing secondary personnel as linebackers. Adrian Phillips is a strong safety by trade, but he's been playing outside linebacker. They're smaller. I think you can control the line of scrimmage. And if I'm the Denver Broncos, that's exactly what I want to do.
Well, and Mike brings it up, and we have to talk about it. Pat Shurmur was so creative against the Jets, right? Something that we had seen, maybe that wasn't going to be the case. So stick with the run. And that's what I'd love to see from Pat Shurmur on Thursday night. It's like you didn't go away from what was working. Mike brings it up. You can run the ball against him. Mm-hmm. So keep doing that. And Pat Shurmur, stay creative because that was fun Thursday night.
Well, on the Broncos side of things, they too don't know who's going to necessarily start at quarterback this Sunday against the Patriots. So do you guys think we could see Drew Lock this week? And if we don't see him, who would you like to see get the start?
Well, it's going to be Brett Rypien if it's not Drew Lock. And you know me, I'd love to see Blake Bortles because I'm a Blake Bortles guy. But I did love what I saw from Brett Rypien. But let's break down Drew Lock and where he is right now. He, as of Friday, had yet to still throw a football. He was throwing lighter weighted balls. They want to see him not be limited in any capacity. Remember, they believe wholeheartedly why they didn't even look at Cam Newton, why they didn't even look at Jameis Winston, that he is the future of the franchise. I don't think you rush the future of your franchise out there earlier than expected or earlier than you're comfortable with a throwing shoulder injury. So to me, I think on Friday when Vic Fangio says is legitimately 50-50, I don't know if it's really 50-50, Cecil. I think it's leaning more towards we're going to see Brett Rypien in this game over Drew Lock. And I'm comfortable with that, considering what they're looking for from Lock on the long term. This is not something you want to rush back, considering, as you always say, he has yet to learn how to fall down. He needs to hit the slopes a little bit, and he needs to learn how to fall and make sure that he's comfortable in that aspect of his game.
Yeah, the slopes, skateboarding, bull riding, whatever, just teach the kid how to fall, make it happen. But Mike brought it up about how the team has responded to Brett Rypien. Brett deserves another start. Unless Drew Lock is 100%, 1,000% healthy, I mean, Rypien deserves that other start. Not because he's the future, but because he ran the system as designed, because the team responded to him, because he had great courage, great leadership on the field. So, yeah, it probably is going to be Rypien, again, unless Lock can make this miraculous recovery and be ahead of schedule. And then we'll be comparing Lock to Rypien, not because Rypien is the future and there's no quarterback controversy. I'm not saying that. But we'll be comparing him in terms of leadership, ability to run that offense, getting rid of the ball quickly. Like, yeah, continue to learn from each other, and Lock, with that great natural talent, continue to grow.
I think I heard you say quarterback controversy. I'm going with it. You said it. Aggregate that, put that out there. No, look, if I'm with you guys, if Lock's not as close to 100% as he can possibly be, and then there's no reason to play him. You have to protect that asset if you believe that he is the future. That's what they believe. So don't mess with it. Give Rypien the ball, and let's see if he can grow from his first start.
Okay, we all know that Bill Belichick loves to take away a quarterback's favorite weapon. So if it is Rypien getting the start, it seems like there's a high probability that Tim Patrick might be the target that they look to eliminate. So who would need to step up if Patrick's hands are tied?
We know how good Gilmore is as a corner. He won Defensive Player of the Year. I would love to see him go against Jerry Judy. And because I think this could be one of those games that Judy has circled to going, if I line up against Stephon Gilmore, I want to see what I have. I want to see where I rank amongst the league's best in terms of where I stand early in my career. And Mike, I think that's something that I think a lot of people would like to keep their eyes on because of how good of a route runner he is, because of how polished he is coming out of Alabama. Not a normal thing for a lot of rookie wide receivers. This would be a great measuring stick for him to go against somebody of that caliber.
Yeah, very talented guy, Jerry Judy is. And Stephon Gilmore not playing to the level he did a year ago. And I don't know what that is. Teams haven't been afraid to throw the ball at him, which is something that didn't happen very often last year. He got that, that Deion Sanders treatment, just leave that side of the field alone. This year they've gone at him. 15 targets already, 10 catches, 3 DPIs. He only had 1 all of last year. So for whatever reason, quarterbacks' opinions have changed on Stephon Gilmore, at least through these first 3 weeks. I would not caution Brett Rypien. If he's the quarterback, go throw that side, see if you can make some plays, let your playmakers try it. And obviously if Gilmore rises up to that level, he's got other options that he can go to, including Patrick, who's obviously been very good for him. They clearly have some kismet there. And had Noah Fant been eligible, if he was going to play in this game, I think he'd be someone that Belichick would say, now that's probably the guy that I want to make sure doesn't go off on us.
Cease?
Oh, it's got to be Alberto Cuebanon, right, James?
Oh,
your favorite guy. And let's be real, though, about the guy that's likely to play, Phillip Lindsay. Phillip Lindsay, please. He's the Energizer Bunny for this offense. He's a guy that isn't a rhythm runner. You give him 10 carries, he could have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So the return of Phillip Lindsay, we're all anxious for that and see how that works out if he plays against the Patriots.